Brought to you by Alman Auctions, the worldwide leader in antique tractor auctions.
When you dig into the history of crawlers, you find all kinds of things that are kind of unusual. Tim Seibel with Fabick. Tell us a little bit about this big green machine back here.
This is a 1917 Holt 10-ton armored machine. This machine saw duty in World War I, pulling artillery. It came back after the war and eventually went to Minnesota. A farm family owned it all these years after that. It was used in townships and different cities around that area to use. They were employed to use it for clearing snow on the roads. This machine ran until 1961, and after that it saw duty as on parade routes, being pulled into on floats and what have you. The machine sat until 2015 when the Fred Weber Company, Fred Weber Incorporated, bought the machine in anticipation of presenting it to Fabick Cat for its 100th anniversary. The guys at Fred Weber in St. Louis worked on restoring this machine, built a whole new cab area for it, and refurbished machine. It's a running example. It is the only existing Holt 10-ton armored machine in existence. There's a couple other machines, one's in pieces, the other machine does not run. So this is the only example around.
So it's actually a Holt tractor, but it's got the Fabick Tractor Company name on the side, kind of as a tribute.
Well, yes, and Fabick sold a predecessor to Caterpillar prior to the merger in 1925, where Holt and Best were merged to come together to become Caterpillar. We actually, as our company, in the early times, we didn't sell the Holt line, we sold the Best tractor line. Another company sold Holt in those early years, and when the two companies merged, Fabick actually did not have the Caterpillar dealership the first year. It went to the Holt company, the Holt dealership in St. Louis, because of a stronger financial presence and having the history with Holt, which was the dominant in the merger. Afterwards, Mr. Fabick, the founder of our company, went to Quincy, Illinois and worked with a company called Electric Wheel and built an all-work tractor for that first year after Caterpillar came out as Caterpillar. Our company outsold the Caterpillar line 6-1, and the Caterpillar corporate, or the owners, realized that we were in the business to sell equipment, and after that first year, we became the exclusive Caterpillar dealer in the St. Louis area. We actually, the company farmed a branch location in Salem, Illinois, not too far from here, to service the oil and gas business that was growing tremendously at the time, and that was the first time any Caterpillar dealership opened a branch location. That was the first time in the world. So the company has a lot of history in Southern Illinois and is continuing that now in our 102nd year.
So this is a 10-ton armored tractor. What can you tell us about the engine that powers a machine of this size?
It's a 939 cubic inch 4-cylinder engine. Junior Gillum, who's our product support manager, is going to be firing this off in a little bit. What they have to do is they have fuel cups for each cylinder. They'll fill that with gasoline. He'll back the timing off. He'll open up the compression release, and there's around on the other side, there's a hand crank in the engine or in the operator's compartment. He stands perpendicular to the tracks and hand cranks this machine over. You see some of the, like the old Model Ts and such, had the crank out front. Well, this machine had the crank up in the compartment. Junior's about 6'7" and about 280 pounds, and he uses every bit of him to get this machine running. So it's quite the machine.
I'm guessing when it fires up, it's just quiet like a kitten, right?
It just purrs right along. You can barely even hear it. So, yeah, right.
So, do I understand correctly that this tractor is an Army veteran?
It is. It was used again in France in World War I, and not many machines came back. Some did from back after the war was over, the Great War. This example is the only running and operating piece of equipment like it.
And it's got a few bullet holes, right, or dents?
Absolutely. There's some plates you can see on the side of the machine. There is actual dent holes, and where it took fire in World War I when they were pulling that artillery into place. I don't know if I'd want to be the operator of that piece of equipment myself.
Hey Tim, this is a pretty proud thing for Fabick, isn't it, to have a tractor with this kind of history?
It is. It means a lot to us, and that relationship that we have with Fred Weber and all of our contractors, farmers, anyone who runs our equipment, we're very proud of that relationship, and we're going to look forward to continuing this in the years forward.
Hey Tim, thanks for sharing the story of this historic tractor.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, Tim Seibel with Fabick, helping out with the history of a tractor that served during World War I. In fact, probably deserves a Purple Heart for being wounded in that war. A great piece of Americana.